Are you fed up with your automatic Subaru 4EAT? Then you need to watch this video because you need this. If you're tired of driving an automatic, a boring one, this is what you got to do. Guys, welcome back today for another video. Try something new with the intro, you know, it's a little corny, but whatever. So today's video, we have OEM Subaru parts straight from Japan. So let me show you what I got here. I'll show you guys how to install it because the directions are absolutely terrible. Honestly, it looks like a little toddler drew them with a crayon. I'll show you guys. So here you go. Guys, I looked into 5-speed swapping this car right here. And let's just say it's not very easy. So this is what we have. As you can see, these are genuine Subaru parts, but you can only get these in Japan. So like I said with the instructions, look at how terrible these instructions are, dude. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know Japanese. So we're going to figure this out. I kind of have an idea of how everything goes. So yeah. But those instructions are probably not going to be very helpful. This is your harness. Like I said, guys, these are all OEM Subaru parts, genuine Subaru. You know, there's no cheap parts here. Like, these are all genuine parts. So this is your harness that you're going to need. These right here is what this video is actually about. These are paddle shifters. This was only an option in Japan, but it makes the car a hell of a lot more fun. So we have the paddle shifters, we have the harness, and the steering column cover is actually in here because you need cutouts for the paddle shifters. This is going to be a great mod for this car. Now, if you guys have not seen my last video with the exhaust, I absolutely love driving this car in manual mode now. So these paddle shifters are definitely going to set it off and make it a lot more fun. Guys, if you haven't watched last week's video, I highly recommend going and checking it out. These cars sound like absolute shit when you put an exhaust on them, unless you do an unequal header. I do have a lot of info on that in my last video I posted. It'll be on the end screen, the end screen credits with the subscription and the one video. It'll be up there, so you guys can check it out right after this video, but please watch this video all the way through. So yeah, we have paddle shifters. I looked into manual swapping this car. It's a lot more involved than like my Mustang was when I 5-speed swapped that. Not the Cobra, guys. I had a V6 Mustang before that was actually automatic, but I did swap it to manual. So there's just a lot involved in this car. If anybody is looking to manual swap one of these, you're pretty much going to need a whole donor car. You need the harness, the ECU, the rear pumpkin, like the rear axle. You need all that stuff. The gearing's different, the transmission, the clutch. It's a lot of stuff for a daily driver. It was just a lot easier to do this, so this will make the automatic a lot more enjoyable. I do have sport shift now, which I'll show you guys, but I just don't feel right shifting at the shifter when it's not a stick car. So let me show you guys what it looks like now, and we'll hop right into installing these parts. If you guys are not familiar with the, I believe it's 08 to 14 Imprezas or even WRXs, Impreza GT, they have the 4EAT transmission. But what sets this aside from the earlier 4EATs, because this transmission has been around for a long time and it's damn near bulletproof from what I've heard. So I have the plus and minus right here. So that's actually stick mode. You can lock it in gears, you can do whatever you want, but it won't let you mess the car up. Like, it won't let you downshift if you're going too fast. It won't let you you know, over rev the engine or anything, but you will stay locked in one gear. So it's almost like a stick without a clutch. Almost. Notice how I say almost, guys. I'm a die-hard manual guy. I'm not going to say this is going to be the same as driving a stick. This is just going to make this car a lot more enjoyable. And pretty much, I mean, the install shouldn't be crazy bad, but we'll see, because you guys saw those instructions. I don't even know what the hell that says. So let's hop right into this and we will tear this thing apart. All right, guys, so your first step, anytime you're dealing with an airbag, please don't skip this step, guys. I've seen airbags explode and almost take people's hands off and stuff. You absolutely want to disconnect your negative terminal. Don't play around with this stuff, seriously. Airbags will break fingers, wrists, hands. Like, just disconnect your battery. Believe me when I say that. That's your first step. So let me get this battery off, and we will hop in the car to try to figure out those Japanese instructions that I have no idea what we're going to do about. But I'm also going to go over in this video with you guys how to do an idle relearn on a Subaru, because we will need to do it once we hook the battery back up, because this car is going to idle terribly. But it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty easy, and I'll run you guys right through it. It shouldn't be a problem. So the negative terminal is off. So the next thing you're going to want to do is we need to remove this airbag. Now, when you're doing this, you want to let the car discharge for about 10-15 minutes, which I've already done. There's 2 Torx bits, they're T30s. Like I said, guys, be extremely careful doing this. It is an airbag, it will explode. There's a T30 there and one on the other side. I'm going to pull those out. The airbag is going to fall right out. We're going to disconnect the connectors, which I'll show you. You just go in like this. Something like this will work, but you'd probably be better off with something smaller, but this will work. So let me get those bolts out, and I'll pick you guys back up. Just be aware those bolts don't actually come out, but they loosen, and then you have your airbag. So pretty much what you're going to have back here is 2 plugs. Now, to get these off, you're going to slide down, I believe, or maybe it's up, or no, you pull these. So you pull these yellow tangs or tongs or whatever the fuck you want to call them. You pull these up, and then these will twist off. Be careful with these, you don't want to damage them. This is your airbag, very expensive. Just be careful. I'm gonna get those off, and I'll pick you guys up, and we'll get the steering wheel off. So in order to get these plugs off, you pull these yellow prongs up like so. See the gap there? These pull right out. And you're also going to have 1 wire for your horn. This is just a ground wire, so when you hit the horn, it grounds and completes the circuit, and that's how you get your horn. So now we are after to get the wheel off. We need to pull the steering wheel off. I am probably, I'm going to disconnect the clock spring harness here, which anytime you take your wheel off, guys, you don't want to go and spin the steering wheel or anything, because it's going to mess up, especially on this car. This has a yaw sensor. So you don't want to spin it, you don't want to have to calibrate or anything, and you can also break the clock spring. So just be very mindful of what you're doing right here, because you can seriously damage your car. So I'm going to take the 1 nut off, I'm going to take the harness out, and I'm going to smack really hard right here, and it's actually going to drive the steering wheel off. So let me get the wheel off, and then we'll be down to the cover, and we can get the new paddle shifters on with the cover, and then all we'll have left is the harness. I got the steering wheel off. The nut is a 17. Like I said, don't go and spin this, guys. Leave it be. It only lines up one way, but you can screw it up if you spin it all the way around, okay? So don't mess with it, and be very careful and mindful of how it is, all right? Also be mindful of how your steering wheel was. I usually start with the steering wheel straight. This way it's just straightforward to put it back. You just put it straight. Your alignment will be perfect. If you mess this up, you're going to have to get a wheel alignment, or you're going to have to take everything back apart and move the steering wheel back straight. I've already had the wheel off in this car, so it kind of just came right off. It was very, very nice. I didn't have to smack it or anything, but your wheel will be stuck. Like I said, just shock it on the side there, and it will pop off. It might take a couple hits, but it will work. I've had this wheel off a couple times, so yeah. So we are going to take this cover off now. There is 3 Phillips heads, I believe. There's 1 underneath here, or there's 2 underneath here, and there's 1 towards the back. It comes right off, just a Phillips head screwdriver, pretty basic. I'm not going to film that. I'm going to take that off, and then I'll show you guys the bare column and how the paddles are going to go. Guys, you're going to have 4 screws. You're going to have 1 on the bottom panel, which you can clearly see it's straight up. And then you're going to have a couple hidden ones. There's 3 on the top panel. So once you get the 1 off the bottom, you unclip the bottom, it falls off. Then you got 3, 1, 2, 3. These 2 front ones are kind of hidden. They're kind of hard to get. The back one you can see pretty clearly. But yeah, so you have 4 total. So now we are going to remove the clock spring, because I believe, oh no, the paddles actually might just bolt right to the clock spring. Let me look at the terrible instructions and I'll get right back to you guys. So we do have paddles right here. I do not like how much this moves back and forth like that. I will show you guys why it's doing that. Kind of disappointed it didn't come with the screw though, but there's a hole down here. There's actually a factory hole for a screw and everything, but they don't give you the screw. So I got to get a screw put in there. The top screws bolt right to this white piece. Those screws are already there to hook the paddles up. Plug your harness in. I'm going to run this harness right down the factory harness like it would be from the factory. And then I used a bolt that was back here. You guys can barely see me right here. You see my finger? I grounded it right to there. There's a little ground lug. It's nice and tight. Shouldn't be an issue there. And then, yeah, let me put that bolt in and we'll get the covers back on. Your new covers are going to look awesome on here because they have the nice cutouts for it. And these paddles are going to really set the interior off, guys. These are nice quality. They're aluminum. Like I said, they're all factory Subaru parts. So you don't have to worry about quality or anything like that because it does come straight from Japan, obviously. So, and then luckily for me, my old cover was actually broken. So it never stayed on right or anything like that. My job is a little bit harder than your guys will be. I do have a remote start, so I have this weird wire around my fob over here, so that needs to stay there, but you guys shouldn't have that unless you have a remote start like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna find a bolt in the garage for there, just probably a Phillips head screw or something. I'll put one in there. I just want it to be a little bit more secure because you know your boy's gonna be slamming gears, you know what I'm saying? All 170 horses are gonna be going A-wire in this thing. So let me find the bolt and I'm gonna get the column covers on and I'll put the wheel back on and everything and I'll show you guys what I got. Guys, here's your end goal with the column on. My harness actually ran to the floor right there. Sorry, my neighbor's cutting his lawn, so you guys just bear with me. So here's your paddles right here. That's downshift, that's upshift. And yeah, so I'm about to put the steering wheel back on. We're about to see what it looks like with the steering wheel on. But so far so good. This kit fits perfectly. Now this kit is actually for an SH Forester, which is the same era Subaru, but it's a Forester. This is an Impreza. But the column and everything is exactly the same as an Impreza, the Forester. They're interchangeable. So this fits gorgeously. It fits just like it should. Everything lines right up. Everything bolts together. The only thing is you have to add one screw to the bottom of the paddles because it's not there from the factory. Guys, I'm sorry I'm playing with this thing. It just looks so awesome. There's like rubber friggin' grips on the back and stuff. It's real nice quality, man. But yeah, so everything will go right on. The harness is the only thing. I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I think it's going to just plug right in because the shifter in the Forester looks identical to the shifter in the Impreza. So we will find out. So let me get the steering wheel back on. I'll show you guys what it all looks like buttoned back up, and then we'll go and rip the center console open, and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully the end of that harness will plug right in and the end will plug into the other side. It pretty much just piggybacks your shifter and intercepts the signal for the shifters. So it's very straightforward. Man, guys, I am so excited right now. Look at this. The old Subi got paddle shifters, man. So as you can tell, the wheel's back assembled. I plugged the 3 plugs into the airbag. I plugged the clock spring in. This harness is ran right there. I got to run that over to the shifter still. There's a lot of like misinformation online. People say that harness goes to the TCM, which is not the case. It actually goes to the shifter. So just so everybody knows, I'll show you guys how to take the center console apart. But yeah, check this out, man. The silver matches perfectly with the silver here. Same thing over here. It just looks awesome, man. It matches all the silver in the interior, you know, just like a factory part. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a factory part, but Japan always gets all the good things and America always doesn't. Damn, man, it really sucks. Now, I've always been an American muscle guy, so I don't know what it's like to get parts from Japan, you know? Insert clip now.
If we have to overnight parts from Japan.
So, yeah, I don't know what it's like to get parts from Japan, but it's actually kind of exciting because, you know, you can't buy this here, so we have paddles, guys. We have paddles, and they look tremendous. Cover fits perfectly, no complaints whatsoever. The only complaint I have is that one screw that didn't come in the kit. That really should come in the kit. Maybe it's different for the Foresters. Maybe the screw is actually there. But for the Imprezas, you're going to need a Phillips head screw. You want something with not a big head because you want everything to clear when you go to put your column back on and everything. So just keep that in mind. But I am going to currently take all my stuff out of here and get the center console part, get down to the shifter, and see what we could do with that harness. Okay, so the plug you're after is not this one. This is for the light, I believe. The plug you're after is down here. It's this guy right here. And yes, this is gonna plug right in, guys. I don't know if it works yet, but it plugs directly in right to this harness. And then the other end plugs in down there, that gray plug right there. So yeah, we should be good, hopefully. I got to get the harness ran up through here and then plug it in, and we'll see if it works. Guys, we have paddles in the Subi. They work. It's direct plug-in. I'll be the one to tell you that. So don't be afraid to order it. It's from avojdm.com. It's the only kit on the market. There's not another one. There used to be, but there's not another one now. It's direct plug and play. It says it's for a Forester, but it does plug right into the Impreza. I already tested the paddles with the key on or whatever, and they do work 100%. They look great. They absolutely transform the interior of this car. Like it looks like a sporty car now. And I'm going to take you guys for a drive once I do the idle relearn. So pretty much what you want to do for the idle relearn is you need to turn the key forward for 10 to 15 seconds. You need to let the throttle body adjust. Then you're pretty much going to idle the car for about 10 to 15 minutes with no accessories on whatsoever. So you want to turn everything off in this car. You don't want anything drawing power from the car. And then you do that, and then you turn it off again. I think you let it sit about 5 minutes. Then you do the same concept. You turn the key forward for 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. You let the throttle adjust. You start the car again. You let it idle for an additional 5 minutes. Then you turn the key off. You turn the key back forward again, 10 to 15 seconds. And then you start the car, and you should be ready to rock. Now, just know disconnecting your battery will reset your readiness monitors. So if you have inspection coming up, don't do this right before, because you will fail inspection. Obviously use common sense, guys, when handling the airbag and everything. But I'm going to do the idle relearn on this car, and then I'm going to take you guys for a ride with me, and we're going to try these flappy paddle thingies out. So stay tuned. So guys, I'm just doing a quick scan, make sure we don't have any pending codes or anything. The horn works, everything works, the paddles work. I'm going to show you guys driving with the paddles. I think you guys will really like this. I'm just waiting for this to finish up doing what it's doing. It shouldn't have any codes, but with the exhaust and everything, yeah, there's no codes. Okay, so we are going to take her for a ride. I want my stuff there. Now, the paddles are not going to work in just drive, guys. Unfortunately, they don't work in drive. That's the same way the shifter was. So in order to use your paddles, you have to go to sport mode, and then that'll put you in sport mode. But then as soon as you hit the paddle, if you watch where the D is on the cluster down there, boom, first gear. So we do have functioning paddles, guys. I think they look awesome in here. But here's a little tutorial for you guys, you know. I just hit the paddle, we shifted again, and there's fourth gear. And then we will downshift coming up to the light, downshift. I hope you guys can hear the car too. This car sounds sick, man. Like, it sounds really, really good. But I just want to show you guys driving with the paddles. That's pretty much all you really need to know. I'm going to take this thing for a cruise, make sure everything's good, and that's it, guys. So that's just one way to make your automatic just a little bit more fun to drive. Automatics suck, guys. Like, I've never been an automatic guy. It's just way too involved to manual swap my Subaru, so that's what I did. I found it online. I found it on a forum, actually, back from like 2011, I want to say. So it's definitely not current, but you guys get the point. Plugs right in. It installs just like factory parts, because it is factory parts. It's just from Japan. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You can definitely do stuff just like this. If I could do it, you could do it. I have been an automotive technician for the past 11-12 years, so I do know what I'm doing. But you know, you guys are more than capable of doing stuff like this. It just takes basic hand tools, common knowledge. You take it apart, you put it back together the same way. It's really not that bad. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please go run up last week's video of doing the exhaust on the Subaru. I actually have a Tuxedo N1 exhaust because the eBay exhaust didn't work out. If you guys seen that video, you'll know why. It sounded absolutely terrible. So I purchased a Tuxedo N1 off of somebody with an STI, actually. His car's really nice. He is subscribed to the channel, so if you're watching this, what's up, dude? But yeah, so I bought that exhaust off him. I got a good deal on it, and I'm going to also put the J-pipe on. I purchased a MagnaFlow Cat that is going to work with the J-pipe. So we are going to have a full exhaust on the Subaru. Probably not going to do a video installing the exhaust because I already did a video installing the exhaust, so I don't want to do another one. But I will post a short for you guys of what it's going to sound like with the Tuxedo N1 and the Magnaflow Cat and the J pipe, the Tuxedo J pipe. So it's going to have a full Tuxedo exhaust minus the cat. The cat's going to be Magnaflow high flow. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are blessed. And drop a like, comment, subscribe. I love communicating with you guys. Just drop them down below. I will answer as soon as possible. If you have any questions for me, drop them down below. And I will catch you in next week's video. Peace out.